The first weekend of the qualifiers for the NACT spring season has officially ended, and it had some bangers. Guys, a lot of surprises came out of this one. One of the most hyped events that we've had yet in the North American scene for Mobile Legends Bang Bang. And today, we're going to be recapping everything that happened this past weekend and also what you guys can look forward to seeing this weekend coming up, as the second qualifiers will be beginning soon. Registration is currently open, so stop by start.gg and make sure you guys sign up. And we'll also give a little bit of predictions on who we think will be able to make it out to the top 16 this weekend as well. So definitely stay tuned, as you guys are not going to want to miss this one. We are now halfway through the top 16 teams in North America, with 8 officially earning their position. This weekend, we'll be seeing the remaining 8 fight it through another open qualifiers, but today, we're going to be going over the teams that are officially holding a spot in the top 16. First, we're going to be starting off with Game and Gladiator. For those who don't know, they formerly were known as the Ohio Brothers. They have Hoon, Zia, Best Player, Shark, Fried Chicken, Dez, and Pika. We didn't get to see Dez run too much. I know he's an amazing content creator, and he's also a backup jungler for TOB. I know he kind of plays an assassin play, so I'm pretty sure he's like a global Lancelot. So definitely look forward to seeing some of his games when Best Player is not in there. But we all know Best Player is a hot prospect. He loves running the assassins, definitely one of the top fannies in A. And he pulled out the fanny in the NACT spring season already. He didn't have the highest skill game, but definitely made up for it and was still able to bridge the early game for the team to be able to push forward. Gaming Gladiators remained undefeated, taking down several teams in the upper bracket. They were able to take down Accelerate, Turret Campers, Nova Core, Overkilled, and now paired up against Devious Activity for the winner's semifinals. I would say the hardest 2 matches that they had to go against was definitely going to be Nova Core and Overkilled. And I wouldn't say that Gaming Gladiators had an easy bracket compared to any of the other teams. Nova Core was a pretty solid team. They took down the Night Horde inside of the upper bracket and knocked them down to the lower bracket to have to fight it out. And keep in mind, Night Horde has officially made it into the top 8. So that showed you that Gaming Gladiators took down a team that took down one of the previous top 8 teams for the NACT fall season. Mind you, Night Horde also took down Team Ace, who was predicted to be one of the top 16 teams, and they did not make it through this qualifier. I would say that was definitely one of the biggest surprises, not seeing Team Ace push all the way through. I hope they register again for the next qualifier coming up this weekend, and we can cast some of their games. Same thing over to the Nova Core. They didn't make it, but again, they are some hot teams, and I still think they have what it takes to be a potential top 16 team. Looking at Nova Core's roster, they've got Nova Ash, Shiro, Hale, Death, Cherry, Lord Divine, Give Me Popo, Kent, Huyaga, and Pumpurin. As we said, Gaming Gladiators was able to push through. They made it all the way up to the top spot in the upper qualifiers for the first position in the top 16. They also took down Overkilled, which is a pretty hot team so far. They did make it to the top 16 as well, but they fought it out in the lower bracket. They do have a pretty decent team. Legendary Chipmunk, Euphoria, Rencutie, Myth, E, 2 Basic Yuri, Jordan the Nightmare, and Kev Teasy. We'll be talking a little bit more about this team as we progress through this bracket, but they had a really good fight too, taking down Before You, who was the team that took out Gosu. Next on the list was Devious Activity, another top team in North America full of some more familiar names. They have Yato, Lord T, Kush, Mikasa, Gina, Super Melon, and Houdini. Devious Activity was the second team to officially make it into the top 16, remaining undefeated in the upper bracket. They took down Luminaire, knocking them down to lower bracket, Washout, No Morals, and also the Wildcards. Wildcard was a team that was anticipated to make it into the top 8 as well, and I would say Devious Activity didn't have an easy road either. It wasn't as hard as Gaming Gladiators teams they were going against, but it's definitely still some hot teams in there that they had to face off against. Looking at the Wildcards, I expect this team to possibly make it to the top 16. I hope they do register again. Here are a couple of their members: Saku, Slato, Legendary Dog, Bozo, Classy Poo, Legendary Gorilla, Evasu, and Zed. And with Devious Activity making it all the way forward, they will be facing off against Gaming Gladiators in the winner's semifinal. Moving on to the bottom side of the upper bracket, the journey of the Bloodthirsty Kings. That's right, BTK was able to make it as well, remaining undefeated, and they took down some really decent teams inside of the upper bracket. Honestly, I think they had the hardest bracket out of all the teams that registered this season. BTK started off taking down Team Shade, which is a team that we've seen competing in a couple of tournaments locally, and also new up-and-coming faces for North America. They took down Dreamville, similar situation with Shade. The more interesting one was them taking down Legacy. For those who don't know, Legacy is Assassin Ryle's team. I'm looking forward to seeing them compete again, though. Hopefully, we can see them register for this weekend so we can cast some of their matches and have another shot at that top 16. Taking a look at Team Legacy, they have Riles, Elo J, Kuya Kin, Kuya Nash, PDR, Sakura, and LG Whoopi. After BTK's triumph against Legacy, they went up against Area 77, which is a former top 4 team in North America from the NACT fall season. They made it all the way out to California to fight it out, but they came in 4th place. Then it was BTK coming in 3rd, Avalon coming in 2nd, and then, as everybody knows, TOB coming in 1st. Area 77 still has a pretty stacked roster as always. They've got Smiling, Easy Peasy, Tarzan, Mark Cutie, Yureshi, Gals Cutie, Jules Cutie, and Jay. With BTK taking down Area 77, they officially knocked them down to the lower brackets, and we got to see them fight it out down there, and they did still earn their spot in the top 16. The last team that we saw make it out of the upper brackets was the Bloodhounds, and they had a battle ahead of them as they first took out the Vanguard, who is a team that they've been practicing with a lot behind the scenes, right? I know they are really close friends, and it was very funny to be able to see these two get paired up against each other, but Bloodhounds was able to pretty much take them down with ease right after the mid game and progress forward, taking down Phoenix Ravens. What's the problem? And then also taking down Feeds. I think this was one of the most interesting things about the Bloodhounds is they've been playing for a while. They're one of the most consistent teams. They don't really switch up their roster, and this is just proof that Synergy definitely can build a top team in North America. Looking at the Bloodhounds roster, they have Bokarasco, Templess, Easy Peasy, Sleeps, Ooga Booga, Sir Bossy, and Doxo. The last match for the Bloodhounds that officially earned them their spot in the top 16 was against Team Fiends, though. This is the team that took down Gosu, and I think that's pretty crazy that the Bloodhounds was able to take them down, which means I would probably rate the Bloodhounds higher than Gosu in our new tier list, which will be coming out soon as well as we update and progress through this NACT spring season qualifiers. But like we said, Fiends took down Gosu right before and then had to go right up against the Bloodhounds and got knocked down to the lower bracket. That was the end of the upper bracket on Saturday, and then that's where the craziness began. The lower bracket was fire. It was full of surprises, and the best match in the entire NACT qualifiers came out of it. The first team to officially make it out of the lower bracket was Area 77. They didn't really have to fight too many teams to get out of there. They started in losers round 6. Just because they made it so far in the upper bracket, they took down No Morals and earned their spot officially. But if we kind of look back, you got to see all the teams who did fight it out in that bracket: Accelerate, Skill Genius, Mass, Team Ace, New King Limitless, and No Morals. I wouldn't say they really had the hardest bracket to go up against. They did have Team Ace in there. That was one of the shockers and also one of the biggest upsets that I think I've seen so far was Team Ace losing, especially that early in the lower bracket, to Team Mass. I really hope to see Team Ace register again, and I look forward to seeing them in the second qualifiers, as I do think they have what it takes to be a top 16 team. They got U2 Mobile Wolf, Maxi, Sky, Moles, Somar Just Like That, and Nivra. Next up on the list is Fiends, pushing forward, taking down above the rest, and earning their spot in the top 16, and will be facing off against Area 77 in losers round 7. Fiends is the team, like we said, that took down Team Gosu in the upper bracket, and they got taken down by the Bloodhounds. They started in losers round 6, so they didn't really have to fight it that far throughout this bracket on the lower side, but there were some great teams that were possibly going to be stacked up against them. They ended up being above the rest, but they had to take down Novacore. They took down Apex Predator. They took down Idyllics. And those are all good teams. Idyllics is a team that we've seen compete in the MLSA. They've played in a lot of local tournaments, and I thought they would have went really far. I hope to see them competing as well as we move forward throughout this bracket. Just a quick look at the Idyllics team. They've got Jay, Hashira, Josh Cutie, Davin Z, Theodore, ASMC03, and Machu. Apex Predator was another team I was kind of looking forward to seeing. They did lose to Above the Rest, though, so hopefully we get to see them register again. Above the Rest was the team that took them down, like I said, and took down Novacore as well. This is a team that I am going to be keeping my eyes on. I haven't really heard too much about Above the Rest, but I'm looking forward to seeing them compete in the next qualifiers. They've got Christopher, Not a Catfish, Rose, Chew, Aquarius, and Zeke. With Area 77 and Fiends sitting in losers round 7, that left 2 more spots for the remaining teams to complete the first half of the top 16. The next team on the list was Overkilled, being able to make it. They started in losers round 6, and they took down B4U. Now, We were able to catch this match. I will be posting it on our YouTube channel here soon. That way you guys can catch it as well. But this was a really good game. It happened right after the match against Gosu, where B4U shut them down. But then they lost to Overkilled in a 12-minute, 13-minute match. It was way faster than the Gosu game, which, mind you, Gosu's game was the best one so far of the NACT spring season. That one is out on our YouTube channel, so make sure you guys check it out. Not one you want to miss. Hopefully we can see Team Gosu again compete here soon. Speaking of Team Gosu, for anybody wondering about their roster, their current lineup is General in the gold lane. They've got Paul, Reckless, Zero, Merciless, Bomi, and then they've got Ritz as their manager and also Breezy. I would say that was definitely the biggest upset so far of the spring season, with Gosu being knocked out so early, but they still have another shot. All they have to do is register again, and we'll be casting their games this weekend. Overkilled, though, is a team that may be a new face in North America. They were able to take down B4U, who is a really good team. I was really surprised with their rotations. They were able to macro and micro pretty well, but once they went against Overkilled, it was more of a one-sided story, and definitely looking forward to seeing them continue to compete. Both of these teams I would consider to be some hot prospects in North America, some fresh talent that I hope to cast inside of the regular season. The current roster for Overkilled is Legendary Chipmunk, Euphoria, Rent Cutie, Myth, E, 2 Basic Yuri, Jordan the Nightmare, and Kev Teasy sitting in that 7th place position. The final spot for the first half of the top 16 ended with the Night Horde claiming it as they took down a couple of teams in the lower bracket. They had the longest road to go through. They actually had to start from the very beginning. Most of those teams that made it started in losers round 6. The Night Horde started in losers round 2 and had to take down multiple teams to make it up into that final position. Definitely had to work the hardest, as they had the most matches out of every single team in the qualifiers to earn that final spot. They took down the Vanguard, which is Exio's team. They took down the Turret Campers. They took down Assassin Riles. They took down Guso. And they also took down the wild cards and secured their position. This is the current roster for the Night Horde. They have Tyrant. He is one of the biggest members in the Mobile Legends Bang Bang North American scene. He has hosted multiple offline events in several locations, such as New York, Los Angeles, hopefully one in Florida that I can go to. But this guy's been all around the states supporting the MLBB NA scene. He is the roamer for the team and also the captain. They also have Totenak, Oh My Foe, Silly Cat, Sayori, R, and Nikoko. And as you see, guys, these are the official first 8 teams to make it to the top 16. Gaming Gladiators, Devious Activity, Bloodthirsty Kings, Bloodhounds, the Night Horde, Overkilled, Area 77, and Fiends. As you can see, their win rates on the board right now. Gaming Gladiators, Devious Activity, BTK, and the Bloodhounds all sitting at 100%. You're looking at the Night Horde trailing with the 85% win rate, whereas the remaining 3 had to only fight 5. Overkilled, Area 77, and Fiends sitting at 80%, but still overall some hot and heavy competition. This weekend will be another open qualifiers where 64 teams will be fighting it out. Double elimination and all matches in a best of 1, where 8 teams will make it out to finalize our top 16. And there you have it, guys. That was a quick recap over the first phase of the NACT qualifiers that ended this weekend. Some of the upsets, some of the major accomplishments, and our first half of the top 16 teams officially making it. Let me know what you guys think about the NACT spring season so far. Are you guys looking forward to seeing Legacy compete again? Hopefully Assassin Riles can make it. How do y'all feel about Team Gosu? What could they do differently? Will they make it into the top 16? I hope so. But like I said, in order to compete, guys, all you have to do is go over to StartGG right now and register, as it is currently open. We will be casting all the games live on our YouTube channel, again, like we did this previous week. So make sure you guys stop by, and I hope you guys enjoy the show. As always, I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you so much to everybody who's been a part of our community as we are actively growing, and I appreciate each and every one of you. But as always, it's been a pleasure to be able to put this out for you guys. I will be posting some of the matches that we caught in the first weekend of this NACT, so don't worry, they will be coming out here soon, such as the Legacy match, a couple of Gosu matches as well, and all of them are bangers. I hope you guys enjoyed today's content. If you did, make sure you leave a like, make sure you leave a subscribe, and as always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Turn me up.